The nature of the self, your existence, which is always alive now. The nature of the feeling of this is pure happiness. The wisdom of the orchestration of the way it all works is that the falling into this happiness requires humility. Kind of seems like, well, what would it require humility for? Everybody wants happiness. But desire does not come out of humility. Desire comes out of the ego, which is what pulls the attention away from the natural happiness that is eternally present as your very nature. Humility simply lives in the willingness to let go of the story of me. My needs, my future, my life, my body. On the one hand, it is the most amazing realization that humility is really the step into pure joy. And yet it can at times seem like a conundrum. But when it seems like a conundrum is simply because of the lack of humility. Because there is a globbing onto the desire system of wanting for me. As opposed to the surrender of me, which is pure humility. Surrender is not looking for an outcome. It is an offering up. It is an offering up of the conditioned, fear-driven, desire-driven machinery that experiences itself as separate. It is a letting go of the reins and allowing a higher wisdom to do the navigation. And in this, the tension relaxes. Maybe not at the start, because maybe there are fear thoughts that arise that draw the attention. But if there is a readiness to be humbled, it's not about my feeling good or bad. It's not about the separate character. It is about a higher purpose. And in this orientation, the tension will let go. And it is when the tension lets go that there is the revelation of the feeling of your existence, which is eternally present, which is free because it is free of the arrogance of mind. It is free of the ignorance of mind. It is not someone getting something finally. It is the humility in letting go of the reins of this story of someone. And then there begins to be the taste of this joy. It is not someone's joy, it is joy itself. It is not oriented in a location. It is not in relationship with the conditioned belief of my body. It is humbled of all knowing. Thus it is humbled of mind. Thus it is humbled of linear time. Thus it is humbled of identity. And then there is the taste of what has always been the essence underneath the drama. You begin to see that the doorway is not in getting, that the wisdom is at the helm. And what greater news could there be than that? The story of my life begins becoming immaterial. As the beauty begins to flower unto itself. Relationship with sensation, emotion, and thought begin revealing the irrelevance of what once seemed to be that which manufactured everything. And then the untouched nature that has been eternally yours begins to flourish. there becomes this clear seeing that it was all topsy-turvy. True happiness is not about getting what I want out of my life, but it lies in pure humility, which is the release of that which siphons the joy, which is the conditioned mechanism that pulls attention away into the struggles of the play of karma. It is not that the play disappears, but what disappears is the experience of someone independent and separate. And then the joy that is eternally alive and infusing everything the same becomes the taste. And what is released is the experience of doing, the experience of boundedness, the experience of suffering. Pure humility is recognized to be, in fact, pure joy, to be, in fact, purity itself. When thy will arises out of purity, out of devotion, and not out of an underlying attempting desire to access freedom, it is immediately discovered to be the taste of eternal joy. And if there is the arising of distress, there is something that is in the process of being humbled. Which is the grace of the wisdom. Eventually, what is humbled back into the source from where it originally came is sensation, emotion, and thought. And then this untouched beauty, the celebration of yourself, is all that remains. What is discovered is that when challenge appears, it no longer falls into this category of a story that something is bad or wrong, but it is what you want. Whatever it is, there is a recognition it is what I want. For the reins have been handed over, and in that the taste of the wisdom and perfection cannot be lost.